And welcome to the MEC Hobnob, Mississippi. What a great day to have this event. We greatly appreciate you being here. And let me tell you what we're trying to do today. Today is about bringing together community and state leaders from all across the state and just talking about economic development. What can we do to be better? We have a lot of great successes here in Mississippi. We're all proud of those. But how can we improve upon those? And how can we talk about the real issues that matter, the ones that are going to move the needle, and bring people together with one common goal? And that one common goal is a better future for Mississippi. And that's what it's all about. And so I want to personally thank the state leaders that are here today for being here, for collaborating, for discussing, for thinking with us in the private sector about how we can do better together. And we all know this: when the public sector and the private sector come together for a common cause and a common goal, great things can happen. And that's what we're about here today, and that's what MEC is about. I want to tell you a little bit about MEC if you don't know who we are. MEC is an organization that can truly make a difference across the state. We represent the entire state, for the private sector across the entire state. And here's what we do. We go out and we develop an agenda based on data-driven research, independent research based on what the data tells us. Not any preconceived notion of what we think it should be, but what we see from our competitive states and what the data tells us of where we need to be. We then take that, we develop a plan, and we go and we work with our state leadership to make that plan a reality. Always thinking about creating jobs, and this is very important, growing our existing businesses, and then also attracting new businesses to our state. And that's what MEC does. We also look to be more granular and think about, all right, how can we make a difference in specific issues? We have a plan called our Blueprint Mississippi Plan. It's kind of a playbook, if you will. And one of the items that we're looking at this year out of that playbook is workforce development. You've already heard a little bit about this. Workforce development. We all know that for a healthy economy, we need a healthy and competent workforce. That means developing the technical and the soft skills for our workforce so that they can support our businesses. And the great thing about that is when they support our businesses, then more jobs are created. So it's a very synergistic effect of how all this works together. And it really happens when the private sector, people in this room, come together, step up, and make it happen in collaboration with the public sector. I want to give you an example of something that MEC is very proud of. At MEC, we have a couple programs called the Mississippi Scholars and the Mississippi Scholars Tech Master Program. And these are great examples of how the private sector, people in this room, have stepped up in collaboration with the public sector to make sure that our high school graduates are either college ready or ready for the workforce. Both of those things are important. We'll give you a couple data points to just let you know how pervasive this has been in the last, say, 15 years or so. The Mississippi Scholars Program, which was started in 2003, is in 118 different school districts throughout our state. 118. We have graduated 40,000 students. That deserves a round of applause. But there's another track out there that's important. Preparing people for college is important, that's critical, but there's another track to go directly into the workforce. In 2013, we developed a program called the Tech Masters Program. And in only 3 or 4 short years, we're already in 83 school districts, and we have graduated over 3,000 students out of that program to go directly into the workforce with the soft skills and the technical skills they need to support your businesses. That deserves a round of applause too. As I said, that has happened because of private sector support, fully funded by the private sector. And it is that line of thinking and that leadership that leads us to make a great announcement today. I'd like to introduce the CEO of Cooperative Energy, Jim Compton, who has a very special announcement. Please welcome Jim.
Well, good morning. And I am here to make a very important announcement about workforce training and education. William, I totally agree with your comments about making our workforce more ready for the workplace. First of all, I'd like to ask my member managers to come up here, and I want to thank them because together with us, we announced today a donation to the Mississippi Scholars and Techmaster programs of $125,000. Okay, with me, and I want to thank them. I have Ron Barnes of Coastal Electric, David O'Brien of Delta Electric, Ron White of Yazoo Valley, and Jason Siegfried of Southern Pine. There's where the money comes from. We are a member-owned, member-governed organization, and we try to stay in touch with our members. And some years ago, when we surveyed them, we learned that they wanted us to have more renewable energy in our portfolio. That led us to select Origis Energy, a company from the Netherlands, to build a $100 million project just west of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This will deliver enough solar energy for approximately 11,000 homes. Origis, part of their culture is that this wasn't just an economic project. They wanted to do something enduring with social value. So they asked us if we would partner with them on something that would help the state of Mississippi. And since we deliver electricity to 55 counties in Mississippi, we wanted something with broad state appeal, something that was proven, and something that would deliver us to the thing we really need, which is people to work for us and for our member systems, people that are qualified and motivated. So we chose the Mississippi Scholars and Techmaster programs. Part of the reason we have over 10% of our employees are engineers. I checked, and over the last 5 years, we have had engineers work for us from Africa, from India, from Malaysia, from Central America, and the amazing thing, we have had 2 from Penn State. We want to see more high school students go to the engineering programs that we have at Mississippi State, Jackson State, and Ole Miss. And the best way to do that is through the Mississippi Scholars Program that's STEM-oriented. The other thing is the Techmasters program. We have a lot of openings for young people that do not have to have college degrees. All we need to know is that they know something about technical matters and they have the capacity to learn, and the Techmaster program offers those things. I want to add one other thing is I want to thank the Public Service Commissioners for promoting the concept that we ought to connect better with the children in our schools and the jobs that we offer in the utility industry. The 3 of them have pushed this issue, and it's important for our total economy. And when we spend money outside of our core business of producing and providing electricity, we need to be sure it's justified, and their support is important in that. So anyway, at this time, I would like to thank Origis Energy for co-sponsoring this, and I'd ask for Johan Van Hee to step up, please.
Thank you, Jim, for your kind introduction. Jim was right on my language. My native language is Dutch. That's Holland, but I don't live, or I do not come from Holland. I come from a little country that is even better in soccer than Holland. It's Belgium. Okay. You will probably hear from my speech that I was not born in Biloxi, Hattiesburg, or Jackson, but I use a y'all once in a while too. Yeah. Very honored to be here. When I got to the beautiful state of Mississippi about 3 years ago, I had this wild idea of bringing a large solar plant to the state of Mississippi, at that moment a solar virgin state. Now, in the meantime, 3 years later, and you can check it out in recent publications in the press, Mississippi is a top 3 state in the US in growth in renewable energy, solar energy, and I was very honored to be part of that. If you would ask me my 3 takeaways of working here with the great people of Mississippi, I would say, first of all, When I got here, I was amazed by the level of engagement and drive of the economic development authorities with whom I worked. In this case, it was the region of Hadesburg, Greater Hadesburg, had tremendous support in that, in what we were doing. They made me realize that maybe my wild idea was not that wild, it was realistic. Second is the level of professionalism of the utilities with whom I work. I have the privilege of working with utilities across the globe. Seldomly I see this level of professionalism as I have witnessed here in the Southeast, specifically also here in the state of Mississippi. Third, and for me one of the most important items, is that whether you build a solar plant or an industrial facility on the island of Sicily or mainland Greece, Chile, Brazil, Oregon, or Mississippi, you need local workforce, local expertise. While not readily available 3 years ago, what has amazed me is that the eagerness of the people to learn a new technology, the eagerness and the drive to do it. As Jim has mentioned, in every of our projects that we do globally, we like to give something back to the communities that have supported us. And we call that our philanthropic engagement. It has to be, for us, it has to be focused on youth, talent. Make sure that our next generation can be successful. Well, in that context, I was talking to Jim and his team and saying, look, we want to do something. Do you have a good idea? And he enthusiastically said, the TechMaster thing is what we need to do. We looked into it and we saw that it was a perfect match with our own goals. And we were very honored, Jim, that you picked up that opportunity and you allowed us to participate in this great contribution we can do. Thank you very much.
I would now like to welcome to the stage two people who are very excited about this announcement. Vicki Powell, the Senior VP of MEC, and Scott Waller, our CEO and President.
She's going to spend it wisely.
I hope.
Lord, check.
Good to go.
Thank you, sir. Johan, thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of MEC and the future recipients of the Tech Masters and the Mississippi Scholars Recognition and Awards, please join me again in thanking these organizations that made this happen, Regis Energy and Cooperative Energy. This is a very big deal for our PEF and this funding of this program, so let's thank them one more time. So today is all about coming together, collaborating, learning, thinking, brainstorming. How can we do better? We got so many great things going on, but there's so much opportunity out there. At MEC, we're very passionate and excited about the opportunities. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for what you do through your businesses and providing jobs and opportunities for Mississippians. And thank you for what you do for the state of Mississippi. Have a great day.